In this video, I'm gonna share with you guys how I clean some of the most difficult areas of the minivan. Now let's get straight into it. What's going on? So glad you guys are here and welcome back to the Wilson Auto Detailing community. If you're a professional auto detailer who wants to become more successful and profitable in your business, or just a car enthusiast who wants to improve your detailing ability, then definitely consider hitting that big red subscribe button right below this video. So I'm in the middle of doing kind of a minivan makeover, what I call right now, because as many of you guys know, minivans in a big way are kind of like a big black hole for trash, and if you lose something, it's probably in the minivan somewhere. So what I've done is taken out the two back seats. You guys can see I'm sitting in the back part of the car, folded the third row down into the trunk, and I'm dealing with these little places where the bottom of the two back bucket seats actually hook into these little kind of metal pieces themselves. And what you guys will find, especially because minivans are like for kids and for families, you know, kids are eating, they're drinking, all that sort of stuff. So not only are you dealing with things like melted crayon in the carpet, but you're also dealing with like French fries, crumbs down in these nuts and bolts. Well, I'm gonna share with you guys how I completely 100% clean these out to absolute perfection. But first, I wanna show you guys kind of what's in here. You guys can see the crumbs, you can see all the dirt, grease, grime, all that sort of stuff. And actually, grease, grime is very literal in this sense, because there is kind of some greasy feel to this stuff because it helps the seats move back and forth, it helps it hook in, and so there is very literally some grease with crumbs and food and all that sort of stuff. So let's get into how we fix this. So first of all, just so you guys know the products and tools that I'm gonna be using in this video, I'm gonna be using my Super Clean Degreaser diluted 5-to-1. I'm gonna be using my Chemical Guys long boar's hair brush, which is actually breaking, so I'm gonna have to get a new one. But I actually carry two of these brushes, one for door jams and one for interior cleaning and just kind of regular cleaning, so that's what I'm gonna be using here. And then I'm also gonna be using my VX5000 steamer. Now, all three of these tools together work really well, but the truth is, unless I had this steamer, it would be very difficult to get these to perfection. So you guys probably can already see or deduce what I'm about to do, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Number one, I've already vacuumed all this stuff out, so that's a very obvious first step. You're gonna wanna vacuum all of these places. Number two, what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna show you these two in this video. I'm gonna go ahead and spray my Super Clean Degreaser all in these areas, and I'm not gonna be like conservative with it, okay? I am being kind of liberal with it, and I'm not worried about overspray because I have not shampooed the carpets or anything yet, so this is just kind of doing the dirtiest work to the cleanest work so that I'm not doing, you know, all the carpets and then getting all this stuff all over the carpets. So next, all I'm gonna do is very literally agitate it with my brush just like this. Now what you guys will be able to see is that the Super Clean Degreaser 5-to-1 already gets up a bunch of that dirt. This is just kind of me breaking it down. This is not necessarily me trying to make it neat and nice and clean. This is just me trying to break down all the dirt that I possibly can. You guys can see all that brown grunge and stuff. All that stuff, the Super Clean is totally broken down. Now what's next? Next, I'm gonna take one of my microfiber towels that I reserve for like really dirty jobs, and I'm just gonna kind of mop up the excess. I'm not trying to get all of it. I'm not trying to be super detailed in this step. I'm just getting all these little suds up so that when I use my steamer, I don't have a bunch of liquid just spraying everywhere, which brings me to the third step. I'm gonna take my VX5000 steamer, and there's not a lot of skill to this, there's not a lot of really explanation. I'm just gonna put it on pretty much the highest degree that I can, and I'm gonna spray it in all of these nuts and bolts. I'm gonna get below these metal clips. I'm gonna get in every single area that my hand doesn't necessarily fit, the brush doesn't necessarily fit, and this is really the point at which this is going to bring it to perfection. And once again, I really couldn't bring this to perfection unless I had this steamer. I've tried before, it's just too difficult. So this is what that looks like. Okay guys, so let me go ahead and show you the after result. Now you'll be able to see like there's a few crumbs, like loose crumbs here and there, just because I need to vacuum it again, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shampoo the carpets and really get this to perfection. But you guys are kind of getting the overwhelming point. Check out inside of these nuts and bolts little areas. You can see there's no crumbs left. There's no grease, grime, dirt. Now something you will see here below these little clips is kind of these metal parts where, you know, obviously the bottom of the seat has to like kind of clip in here. You're gonna want to put a microfiber towel in here because there will be some excess water that continues continues to kind of drip down for the next few minutes in here. So rather than just sitting here and wiping it up every 60 seconds, I just go ahead and stick a microfiber towel down there, and so all that excess water ends up getting soaked up in the next like 5-10 minutes or so. But you guys are getting the main idea here. Not only is the steamer getting in all these tiny cracks and crevices, but it's also getting on all these places. Like there was some melted crayon right here that I just steamed right off. There's a lot of different places that the steamer gets really well, other than just the cracks and crevices. So of course it's gonna look much better when I shampoo all of these carpets as well. But you guys can see these are back to that perfect condition. Now, are they completely perfect? In other words, like, is it a completely uniform appearance? No, there's obviously some scuff marks here and there because you have to literally shove the seats in here, and so the little hooks on the bottom of the seats that hook in here, it's kind of like a puzzle having to get them in. So obviously there's a bunch of scuff marks from, you know, the owners of this vehicle pulling them in and out and taking them in and out. That's going to be very obvious. You know, obviously there's some plastic that's frayed up right here. I'm not going to be able to do anything about this, but other than that, the overwhelming point of this video is just that these are very tough areas of the minivan to actually get clean. And so you can take it from looking like this and looking like this to looking very clean. Now, one thing that I would like to just reiterate is that this steamer in this situation is kind of like my weapon of choice basically every time, and honestly it would be extremely frustrating to try to get this kind of job done without a steamer. Now, I use the VX5000. It's about like a $900 steamer. That is not something that you have to use. Other steamers would work in this case, but even just in general, when you're detailing a minivan, if you don't have an aggressive tool like a steamer, it does get very frustrating and very difficult. And a lot of times in the detailing world, it's easy for especially beginner detailers to get frustrated because you're not getting the results you want. And so a versatile tool like this that can be used on very literally every part of the car and speed you up so much and get you great results like in these areas is something that I would very seriously consider investing in. Because though I don't do a lot of jobs like this nowadays, normally I'm catering to more higher end cars that don't get dirty. Of course, for the right price, I'll do a job like this any day. So that's kind of what I'm doing today. And so I'm very glad that I have this steamer with me today. It's not something I like to leave the house without. And so I'm gonna hook up Amazon links below this video to several different kinds of steamers. Yes, I will hook up a link to the VX5000 so you can check it out, but I'm also gonna hook up links to much less expensive steamers like $100 steamers, $200 steamers, $300 steamers that are easier on your wallet, especially for those of you who are beginning in the detailing world. You don't necessarily have to go all out with something like a $900 steamer. So if you wanna check out those steamers on Amazon, use the Amazon links below. If you do buy one and use my links, it does give this channel a very small commission, but it helps this channel stay alive so I can continue to give out awesome content just like this all the time. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, and of course if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hook up all that stuff in the YouTube comments below because I always read those and I'm sure to get back to you guys as fast as I can. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing because I come out with videos all the time just like this on products, tools, strategies, communication skills, business skills, and so much more, all in an effort to help the pro detailers become more successful and profitable in their businesses. And I share the same strategies that turn my business into a full-time income with part-time hours. So if that interests you, definitely consider subscribing. Once again, thank you guys so much for being involved here, and as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video. In this video, I'm gonna share with you guys how I clean some of the most difficult areas of the minivan. Now let's get straight into it. What's going on? So glad you guys are here, and welcome back to the Wilson Auto Detailing community. If you're a professional auto detailer who wants to become more successful and profitable in your business, or just a car enthusiast who wants to improve your detailing ability, then definitely consider hitting that big red subscribe button right below this video. So I'm in the middle of doing kind of a minivan makeover, what I call right now, because as many of you guys know, minivans in a big way are kind of like a big black hole for trash, and if you lose something, it's probably in the minivan somewhere. So what I've done is taken out the two back seats. You guys can see I'm sitting in the back part of the car, folded the third row down into the trunk, and I'm dealing with these little places where the bottom of the two back bucket seats actually hook into these little kind of metal pieces